You're watching and you are here.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, top of the time zone. I'm Alan Colvin. Got Johnny J in the house, president and station manager of Intervision FM. You're not going to want to miss today's podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about the Flobots. That's who we love, and that's who we serve.
Running out? Yeah. Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown. I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown saying stay with it and hit it. Okay. Thank you very much.
How dare you?
We love our friend Greta. How's everybody doing out there in the Intervision FM universe? How you doing, Johnny? Oh, well, I guess he's doing good. Today, we're going to talk about the Flobots. These folks are well known for a song called Handlebars. And we had the pleasure of joining a organization called Combo for a Zoom meeting last evening after the show. And we're going to talk a little bit about the experiences of Stefan Brackett. He is also known as Brer Rabbit. And so we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about music contracts. We'll talk a little bit about how to codify where the money goes once you do end up getting paid. And we'll talk about a few other things that come up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. We're on YouTube, Truth Social, Getter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and a number of different platforms. Visit www.intervisionfm.com to find out where we broadcast. Our sponsors consist of a couple of people. Got the Bonafields Foundation and got Eeny Meeny Grants. And we've got Colorado Art Relief Fund. These folks help us to promote the grassroots musicians, recording artists who are physically disabled or financially challenged, as well as a great friend of Christian Brothers Moving Company. I'm sorry, a great friend of Intervision FM, who is Christian Brothers Moving Company, based in Denver, Colorado, actually Englewood, Phoenix, Arizona, and also in the great state of Texas. While we wait for Johnny J to join us here, he's in the back doing the control booth type stuff. It was interesting because the interview that we had been invited to by Combo, you'll learn more about on June 10th if you join us for Youth on Record. Intervision FM will have a table out there, and we'll just be talking with, I would imagine, Stephen Brackett will be there, as well as perhaps some others.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not going to want to miss that. But on the 9th, we do have a Youth in Action tour. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's going to be it's going to be a meet and greet. Going to have a couple of businesses there and some other people that are like mentors and so forth, and a couple of artists, a few artists there that are going to be performing, and a little bit of food and some soft drinks, and it's just going to be a time of just getting together on a beautiful summer afternoon, after summer night, and gonna have fun. Hey, and we have an Eventbrite. I was going to boost that today, and I don't know, it was going through a lot of other stuff, so I'm going to be boosting that, and it's on our website, innovationrecords.org. So if you want to get your tickets, that's where you can get them. And wow, yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, and our station was down for a little bit, and it's now back up. I'm listening to it. I've been listening to it all this afternoon. I said, that's a pretty good radio station. So it was down for a while, and my one of our DJs, Randall, he called me and said, "Hey, I went to the station, it's not there." And I kept saying off air, and then so I got with Ira, and we figured it out, and so it's back up.
That's
So,
awesome. So you
yeah.
can catch it on your smart speaker by asking your smart speaker to play KINV-DB Intervision FM. And we should be on your smart speaker 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, folks. Don't forget to hit us up at paypal.me/Intervision Denver, because we do need to keep the lights on.
Yeah, and as soon as these grants start to come in at a better, even a pace, we have people in Europe that we're friends with, and their day is our night, as you know. And there's one guy, Lau, I wanted him to do the overnight, like from 10, maybe like 10 to 2 or 10 to 3, something like that. And pay him a little stipend for that. And then this other guy who wrote a book, and maybe have him do like a talk show, like a 2-hour talk show or something to that effect. So we got some plans for the overnight. And of course we're gonna be covering like the daytime too. So anyway, so just some stuff that goes along with our school, the Innovision FM school. So yeah.
All of the information for the podcaster broadcaster school that helps to service and train the disabled DJs that want to become, aspiring podcasters, or just have never gotten into the business before. Johnny has started this school, and you can find out more by visiting www.intervisionrecords.org. We got Stefan Brackett last night. That was insane, man. I didn't know anything about the Flobots, and so it was very informative. Johnny. Anyway, it was very informative. We got to talk to Stefan Brackett for about an hour and a half, hosted by this event that this group called Combo had put on. And one of the things that came up was contracts. As you're getting ready to get signed onto a big record label, some of the contracts deal with some really strange language. This guy was mentioning that there were some things in there that dealt with the rights to the content, to the music, and this kind of thing. Interestingly enough, it covers content and music that basically, it's the idea that if you put your content out there and you make an album, the record label is protected and has it, depending on the contract, has rights to that. And hang on a second, I gotta let Johnny back in.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Anyway, we were saying that we were talking about the contracts. It was interesting because a piece of that contract was that the rights were the ownership of the record label, and they would pertain to wherever the spins took place, whether they were in one country or another, even within the known universe, as if, once we start colonizing other planets, the record label retains the right to the song ultimately.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about the contracts,
Mhm.
and like how thick they were,
Mhm.
and that he thought he was he was selling his life away, and then and of course he went and got an entertainment lawyer. I like that part,
Right.
because a lot of people, young people, they sign these contracts and they are selling their lives away. And so, and he was saying like, it wasn't so much that they wanted like a good, sweet money deal, but they wanted more control over the intellectual part of the music.
Right. They wanted more creative control over the music and intellectual property rights and this kind of thing. And so Stephen Brackett, Brer Rabbit, had mentioned that it's probably the best thing to find out what you're willing to give up so that the record label believes that they're getting the best bang for their dollar. So, for instance, he was saying exactly what you just mentioned, Johnny, that money for them was not a problem. That the idea being, money would be secondary, and they just wanted to unite the world through music, much like what we do. Um, and so it was quite interesting that he brought that up. So, folks, when you're signing your life away to a record label, you know, do some negotiation with them, find out what it is that you are willing to negotiate with them on, and do that thing. Some people want that money and some people want that fame, whereas other people are more interested in what he was doing with regard to founding nonprofits and doing things with the Youth on Record, which is the June 10th event that they'll be putting on. You can learn more about that by visiting the Flobots website, and that's at www.flobots.com.
Yeah. 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 And also, okay, let's see, it was another part he was saying like, okay, when you're just starting the band, I guess before the money part comes in, he says it's really important to put together like the splits, because it's like once the money comes, then it becomes, different emotions come in there and different things like that comes in there. And so he says it's really important to develop like what are those splits before all the money comes, and then you get these other lawyers and other interesting parties coming in, and that it can split a group apart. And
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I thought about like we were talking about like when they went on their first I guess national show, and it was, I guess his parents had died early. I mean, like he lost both his parents before the age of 21, and so everybody else had invited their family, and he didn't know that he could, to have that experience and share it with someone, the happiness of it. He should have invited, cousins, aunties, and stuff like that. And then he learned, from there on, the next one, he invited relatives, and it made it a better experience.
Yeah, so it was kind of a bittersweet experience for him. He was rather lonely from what I could gather the first time that he appeared on the Tonight Show with the Flobots. And, so like you said, he definitely learned from that experience that it's okay to bring your family back to the codifying of the contracts and where the money goes. super important because he brought up an idea that no matter how much money you bring in, there's never going to be enough to pay everybody. So what you're going to want to do is actually find out where the money should go first. This way, you're obligated via contract uh, with these codified pieces of information, deciding where the money is going beforehand before you make it into the big time.
Yeah, and I liked I like what he said that they wanted to leave a legacy that would, because he said like when it was there was a things to work with the kids with musical instruments, and then he said then there wasn't anything, and I guess Denver has a noise ordinance
Right.
where they can have block bodies or whatever. And he says, and it was kind of funny that he thought he could talk to Polis, and in my condition, Polis doesn't care about children or music. And you know what? I also thought the way these men are treating women nowadays, and even with women liberation now like that. So mostly these guys, and they don't see it because they're not looking at what they're doing. And this is a little bit off the topic, but I just want, when he brought up Polis, I thought about this. They use a surrogate woman to have children and then discard them. Oh, your job is done. Get out of here. We got what we want. Out of here. And what makes you think that he cares about any children or any humanity when when you can see that he has people just to use them and then discard them.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, but the idea being is to go ahead and get involved first at the local level, change those noise ordinances, and his dream was to really transform Denver and the state of Colorado at large into a music mecca, as it were, a drawing place for recording artists and musicians, whether they're physically disabled or financially challenged, able-bodied, just anybody and everybody that wants to get in front of the mic or strap on a guitar and be able to play. And it was, wow, it's quite interesting. I loved it.
Oh yes, definitely. Well, let me turn off this other stuff.
Well, you get set up. I'm just going to tell folks a little bit about Youth in Action. On June 9th, the meet and greet will start at 5 p.m. All the information is at intervisionrecords.org, and you can check out the location of the event and the exact time. The ticket prices are actually pretty reasonable. You're looking at $15 per ticket, unless of course you bring a friend. Then for two. Let me see if I understand this right here. It looks like if you bring a child, you can get in for $20. Otherwise, it's $15 a ticket straight across. It's going to be a little bit more at the door, so you're going to want to visit that Even Bright event after Johnny gets that square to go ahead and pick up your tickets. Let's see what else we got here. And on the 10th of June, we're looking at, like I say, that Youth on Record, which was founded and started by Stefan Brackett of the Flobots. So you're not going to want to miss that as well. We'll have an Intervision table there, Intervision FM table there. How you doing, Johnny?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I didn't know I was muted. Okay, so we'll have a interview table there, and it starts from noon till 7, which I thought I was going to miss a lot of it because I thought it was going to start early, and I'm thinking like they're probably thinking, these are kids. They're not going to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning to start this. Or no, what was it? 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. So it's going to start at noon. I will probably get there about 1:30 or 1 o'clock around that time. Then I think we just bought tickets to go see this play at 7 p.m. that evening. So it's going to be a full day, but it's going to be fun. It is going to be fun being out there on a block party.
Oh, there's nothing like a block party. And, with a nice local band like the Flobots, straight out of Denver, Colorado, why, it's going to be a lot of fun. Another thing that Stephen Brackett brought up was the idea that these gentlemen held careers, even as were hitting the big time and getting famous. So they didn't put all their eggs in one basket for sure. And they kept their day jobs, as it were.
Oh yeah. And and it was something else. And he was a teacher before. So that was kind of cool that he said, okay, how can I connect with these students? And then it took that to like, how do I connect with the audience? And it says, people want to have a show. You go and you do this, and you have to learn how to. And I guess with Motown, it was like a assembly line where they work with these guys on how to do a show.
Right.
And that does not exist anymore. Or if it does, it doesn't. It only exists if you have the people that can have the foresight to see. All right, guys. People are paying money, and they're coming to pay money to see something, right? And I remember it was this group. I'm going to remember the name of this group. It was these rappers, but the guy had them running around the block, because usually, like on the stage, you're running back and forth, and you have to be full of energy. And if you're huffing and puffing, oh man, you soon learn that, hey, it's almost like preparing for a boxing match. You better practice for 15 and hope that you knock them out in round 5.
That's right. I think the big thing that he assured us is that you're going to want to make sure to put a show on and shoot for the stars, as it were. I mean, try to put on the best possible performance that you possibly can, work at your maximum level. And hey, if you don't quite attain that goal, you don't reach that goal, well, that's okay, because nobody does. But the idea being is that you try to shoot for that maximum level of energy and a performance.
Yes. Oh, and if you want to see the interview, you have to become a member of Combo. It's a nonprofit Combo music business, and it's a great organization. And you can see the full interview. I think it's like about 90 minutes, but it's just full of information.
So visit coloradomusic.org if you're interested in learning more about Combo and more about helping these folks out. info@intervisionfm.com is the best way to get involved with Intervision FM via our newsletter, so that when we have bands like the Flobots and we talk to these folks, you can be included in on some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. So and info@Intervision FM, paypal.me/Intervision Denver, and our Cash App, which is $Intervision J, and all that kind of stuff, if you want to support our nonprofit. And matter of fact, when we close our show, I'm going to go up there and start sending us some business cards, because I've been procrastinating. Oh man, I hate it when I was intense work with this grant. It was a federal grant, and if you ever done a federal grant, man, there's a lot of pieces that go in there, but it's like, And so my mind just was just, how is it like mush? So now it's like, okay, I'm fired up. We're ready to go. We're here. And we'd like to thank everybody for joining us and stuff like that. And of course, we'd like to remind you to hit like, share, and subscribe, and even type in your questions in there as well. So anyway, hey, we're gonna close it down because we just was very just impressed with that interview yesterday, and we just wanted to share some of that stuff that we learned yesterday, and we'll put it out to you. So join us here tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be an interesting day, but we'll have another interesting show. We may have some other people flowing through, as DJ Woogie might be coming through again, but we shall see. So we'll
And
see
if
you
we don't tomorrow, folks, have a happy Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to the veterans and the soldiers who have served and are currently serving in our armed forces.